before I had to live in Belfast where the warehouse was, I then literally moved and was able to live near my mum and grow my family here. It made a big difference for my own freedom. The order comes in, the order goes out, and you forget about it. You could probably do it a little bit cheaper yourself, but then the mental load, I don't know how you price that, and that's how it should be. Having the freedom of not worrying about the warehouse, we've been able to develop our training, and it really has seen huge impact financially, going from really a small business to a large business.
Welcome back to another episode of Freedom to Grow. We're in a different setting here today. I'm joined with Metre from Learning Space. We're really excited to hear about your business and your journey thus far today.
Brilliant. Thanks. Thank you for having me on.
So yes, Metre, if you don't mind explaining what Learning Space is, why does it exist, and what does it do?
Learning Space started almost 20 years ago. Yeah. It's run by three sisters, so myself and Lorraine and Niamh and Niamh's husband Carl. And we've created Learning Space primarily because we have a sister who has learning disabilities. And my sister Lorraine, who was a primary school teacher, saw the need for it, saw the need that there wasn't accessible learning equipment out there, and it wasn't suited for her needs. So she created this along with ourselves. We started off with a shop in Belfast that we then grew a website. We created our own warehouse up there in Belfast and started fulfilling from there. Learning Space specialises in autism, sensory needs. We fit out sensory rooms, as you can see from here. And this is one of our really special rooms here. What we do is we create these rooms, but in creating the room, you're looking at the prices for the room, how much it can be used and what the child needs. And we really have seen the difference having the equipment and having the right equipment can make. And the feedback we get is just so special. Like every day you're hearing really, really like transformative information back from how your work's helped, and it just motivates you. Hence why we're doing it for near 20 years now. That's on the small scale of things of what we do. Large scale, we do huge contracts, fulfilling millions of pounds contracts out to UK, Ireland and further afield, big tenders. So our fulfilment need is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
amazing. That's great. It's a really amazing story to hear how it's been birthed, and the need and you guys supplying for that need.
Yeah.
So you touched on obviously like transforming buildings, but what struck me there when you were talking was actually it's transforming lives.
Yeah.
It's transforming people's lives and supplying that need.
Yeah.
How has that impacted yourselves throughout the journey?
Well, it's actually when you get the feedback, or you go into a room maybe a few months later and you can see you've met the child maybe beforehand, and you've seen that they can't cope with day-to-day living, or they can't cope with things, and then you've went back maybe to do additions or to change things, and you can see that this child has come out of themselves because they've got a chance to regulate, because they've had a chance to get that energy out, or to calm in their calm space. And it definitely matters who's using it and how they're using it.
Yeah.
And really is makes you want to do it more and more. Just it kind of fulfills you.
Amazing. It sounds like a catalyst, really, for people, for the benefits you bring in for your own business. It's an amazing synergy.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Metre, if you don't mind, take us back to the grassroots.
Yeah.
Throwback to Belfast when you opened up your first shop and storefront. You were fulfilling from there. What did that look like? Do you have any stories around that?
Yeah, so it looked like a tiny store, smaller than the sensory room.
Wow.
And we would have envelopes underneath the desk, and you would tape it on top of the desk, and then you would lift your laptop on top of the taping, and that's how we fulfilled. And it worked. It was the first part of our website going live, and we got orders out. And quickly we outgrew that. Very, very quickly we outgrew that. So then we got our warehouse up there with one unit, and then we got the unit beside it. And this is all over very, very short periods of time. We outgrew that one. But we were fulfilling ourselves. We were going like, this is shelf 1, this is shelf 2. And then trying to remember where our stuff was on the shelf. And yet generally it came down to, I definitely put that somewhere.
Yeah.
So it was manageable because it wasn't huge, but it was definitely a lot of manual work and a lot of remembering or trying to find it, and stock counts was just crazy.
Yeah.
So that all came to a close when the place flooded. So our entire stock got wiped out in one go. So
Wow.
that ended that. But also we were at the stage where we had to do something. But then because it just basically was a jump ship now because
Yeah.
we were getting flooded. So so that's how we moved then into fulfillment.
And what was your kind of square footage or scale or size at that stage of business? Like people count in terms of the size of the business?
People count was maybe 2 warehouse staff
Okay.
at that stage. It'd be about 1,000 square foot that we were working from, but that included our warehouse and our office space.
Okay.
And at that stage we were paper based and very manual.
Yeah. Amazing.
It worked. It got us, orders out, and it's got us to understand. And I think without having done that process, fulfillment would have been even scarier, but we understood this is actually what it entails. Like it does take a lot of work,
Yeah,
and a lot of understanding and a lot of organizing.
So when your business was flooded and you had to make a decision as to, okay, what do we do next? You decided, let's use a 3PL, a fulfillment company.
Yes.
How many years ago was that now?
10.
10 years ago?
Yeah, that was about 10 years ago now, so yeah.
What did that release for you guys? So you made that step, outsourced your fulfillment. What difference did that make for your business?
Straight away, it meant that our heads were not in the warehouse. You could do the whole day working just warehouse and fulfillment and making sure that everyone was working and how it was working and orders were coming in. And straight away, that thought process had stopped. So you didn't have to think about the warehouse. You just had to think about, how can I expand my business? How can I grow my business? How can I develop my business?
So during that transition, Mary, the business went through a flood, a crisis.
Yeah.
You made that decision to start using a fulfillment company. In terms of that trade-off, so you had your own space, your own direct control, own staff, versus outsourcing all of that. What was the cost benefit? Did it cost more to move to a fulfillment provider? And then what benefit did you receive off the back of that?
I think there is a, yes, you could keep doing it yourself and possibly it might be cheaper, but then my head's in, I have to do HR, I have to do fulfillment, I have to do ordering and off the boxes, off the storage, off the packaging, paying rates. You have to weigh up both of them. And for us, the freedom of not having to worry about staff, not having to, and not that we, staff, it's all good, but there's still work involved in, employing people. So there's freedom in not having to do that and not having to worry about the orders going out and not having to worry about, paying the rates or paying everybody. It was just the order comes in, the order goes out, and you forget about it. And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
So financially, I think yes, you could probably do it a little bit cheaper yourself, but then the mental load that comes with that is you can't. I don't know how you price that.
Yeah.
So you have to weigh up the value of your brain freedom. that's saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It sounds to me like, really it released yourselves to work on the business rather than working in the business.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%, yeah.
And did you guys notice then that change in terms of growth, new opportunities once you did make that transition? And
Absolutely.
what did that before and after picture look like?
For me, it actually freed up where I could live.
Okay.
So before I had to live in Belfast, I had to live with the warehouse, where the warehouse was. I then literally moved almost, I think, the same week to Oma. So I was able to live near my mum and grow my family here. So it made a big difference for my own freedom and family.
Amazing. You mentioned freedom a couple of times there, and that's obviously the name of our podcast series.
Yeah.
It's also our vision as a business to give businesses the freedom to grow. So that's really encouraging to hear that move for you as a business 10 years ago, obviously from a crisis, but actually the decision you guys made to outsource to a 3PL and fulfillment provider, not only to give your business freedom, but you personal freedom as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So Mary, let's go a wee bit deeper in relation to the freedom it gave your business. So if we look at that post move to your new fulfillment provider, what did that enable your business?
So it made us think bigger. So we've seen that we can cope with more and apply for more. So we started applying for bigger tenders and bigger tenders and bigger tenders.
Yeah.
And getting them. We also then started thinking about training. So within our team, we have leaders in neurodiversity.
Mm-hmm.
They are neurodiverse themselves, and they come with a wealth of knowledge. So having the freedom of not worrying about the warehouse, not picking and packing, we've went to, and been able to develop our training, been able to go out to thousands of schools and train on what is needed, how it's needed, and how to help. And it really has seen huge impact. The feedback we get on our training is amazing. It's really nice. A lot of people saying that it's the first time they've ever really understood what the child needs. And that's really what we want to put across when we do our training.
Yeah.
So having not having to worry about the warehouse and being able to do things like that, it's made a huge difference to us financially, and going from really a small business to a large business.
And was that a new revenue stream, a new offering that you brought out since that move?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we would have done like small, like if we'd installed a sensory room, you would have got training, but this is much bigger.
I suppose all sounds like it stems and points back to the original reason you guys went into business in the first place, was because of that need to supply these facilities, and now this training. So it enabled you to focus on your core benefit, on your core reason why you exist.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So let's talk about the practicalities of moving to fulfillment, from doing it yourself to outsourcing that. What did that physically look like in terms of lifting your stock, giving it to someone else? How much work was that to actually transition your entire business model?
It is actually a lot of work. It depends how quickly you need to do it. So if you're doing it really quickly, it's chuck it in a van and hope for the best. But if you have time, it's write down what's on each pallet and put that on an ASN, and so that then when it gets to the warehouse, you know what you're going to get. And we found that that's how we were able to do it. So we had a list, everything was in a pallet, and then you got there. It was straightforward. You know, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of hands on, but you get it. And then you walk away and it's done, and that's it. And it just feels really good, because that's the move. The big move is hard work. But once you're there, that's it done. You know, so you have to kind of fight past the hard bit and then settle down, and it settles very easily. And settle very easily with yourselves. You know, within, what was it, maybe 2 weeks, we were all stock in, all orders going that way. So, you know, it really did ease itself in, fairly straightforward. So
we spoke about, obviously, yourselves moving from your own premises into 3PL for the first time 10 years ago. In the past year, you've actually started working with us, and it's been a great time. With that transition, moving from a 3PL to a new 3PL, can you talk about what that was like in terms of decision making and the onboarding and that transition?
So when we first moved, it was a flood. It was throw everything in the van, hope it's dry, and get it there. And it worked fairly well. It was a lot of work, but we done it. The second time, it was more methodical. We could pack the pallets up and label everything, and we had a few meetings with yourselves and made the decision to move to yourselves. And we packed 5 containers and you got them in. We had a member of our team with yourselves, so that we could just, because our stuff is special. It's not quite, you know, here's a barcode of boxes, and here's a waterbed. Here's a, you know, like, it isn't your standard, here's a nice pretty box and that's your barcode on it. So our stuff can be difficult, and we can be difficult. But so having you learn with us was really key to it, I think, as well. Also, at the end, I think yourselves we lined up 2 rows, and we knew all our stuff was in there. Everything that is ours is there, and we knew how to categorize. You knew how to categorize it and label it and have it all set up, so that then orders were able to go out quite smoothly, quite quickly as well. Once they were on the shelves, they were basically leaving as we were putting on more stuff. You could just see the orders going, and it was just it was really cool to see that. So it actually didn't feel like a lot of effort to move to yourselves, because we had the methodology behind it. We had the labeling, we had the what's on each pallet, and you knew, and and you had enough staff in to container, just keep going. A heavy 2 weeks, I'd say, but not doable.
Yeah,
very doable.
So the industry standard is the charge per pallet space when it comes to warehousing. Whenever you guys were moving in, I looked at your stock and it worked out to be in and around 280 pallet spaces. We at SGH Fulfilment actually charge per cubic meter, which is different to our competitors and how people do things. And that worked out actually to be around 80 full pallets.
Yeah.
Can you talk around cost savings in relation to that model change?
There has been significant savings, and it's been really financially beneficial for us. It's a different model. You have to think about it differently, and it's hard. It's nice to see it when you're down there as well, because although you're saying a pallet can be one item on it, or it can be 100 items on it, and they're really tall. So by doing it by cubic meters, it does actually save you a lot of money because of the way you think about it. But also I think we do pick and pack differently as well, and the charges that way. And I find it's very clear. You do it very clearly, and it's easy to see and in the invoicing how that process is. So it does help, and it helps in our accounts team who like analyze it and stuff. So it's easy to see and easy to follow.
Yeah, and I suppose the simplest way I try to describe it to people is, well, you see any void space in our warehouse, nobody is paying for that.
Yes.
That's my expense, and my job is to try and maximise that. Our team's job is to maximise that. So within our warehouse management system, our communications, that end of the business, within fulfilment itself, what's your experience been in the past year in relation to the full visibility that we offer our clients?
Yeah. So I know you use MintSoft as the software, and with that we can see everything. Just everything. You can see how stock coming in, when it's coming in, and you can see orders going in, out, the stock value, the stock weights, dimensions, and how what parcels went out, how they went out. There's a full flow through MintSoft, and it's very clear. It's very clear reporting. So we're getting reports on how long the stock's been there, and then that's down to us then. Why is that stock there for so long? Let's get this out. There's also very clear methods of communication. So within that software, say an order, we want to add a note, please pick up green one, please pick to do something with this order, or this order has to go now. It's easy to do that within the software. So you're not having to go on emails or go out of your system. Everything's within one system, and it just flows through.
So like Learning Space 2016 versus Learning Space 2026.
Yeah.
It sounds to me that you're describing you still have the control and the visibility that you would like in your small 1,000 square foot warehouse.
Yeah.
But with the capacity and capability to scale.
Yes, absolutely. And you still have the freedom to be able to think away from the warehouse. If you didn't go and look and you didn't check these things, that order's still going in, that order's still going out. Without you having to put your hands on it or set your brain on it.
So we're sitting here in lovely, sunny Northern Ireland today, which is fantastic. We both know that Northern Ireland sits within the UK and the EU single market, which is a phenomenal advantage for businesses based here.
Absolutely.
So for you guys being based here in Northern Ireland, what's that meant for your business from a competitive point of view?
It's actually put us way ahead of competitors, and which is it's very special. So it means that we can go for tenders in Ireland. It means we can go for tenders in the mainland UK and tenders within Northern Ireland, and we can distribute throughout them with yourselves without having really an impact on our business and without having an impact on the customers financially. So they're not paying extra, because we're based somewhere else. And in fact, most of our customers are seeing a financial advantage by using us over any other company because of our position within Northern Ireland.
So would you talk about that advantage to your customers, potential customers, in your tenders? You talk about this benefit?
Yeah, always, and within every tender, it is very clear how we are the company that will have the benefit of our position in Northern Ireland. How the tax and duties are better because we're Northern Ireland, and because we can go down to Ireland, over to the UK or the mainland UK, and within Northern Ireland.
Yeah, so within our company and organization, we've recently put together our vision, mission, and values over the past year.
Yeah.
And it's been really important to us as we've grown and scaled. We've always had those values, just never articulated them well. But now it's a really exciting time because they are literally on a wall. They're in our employee handbook. It's how we recruit people, but it's also how actually we align ourselves with our clients during discovery.
Yeah.
We look at, okay, are we aligned? Are we not? Are we the right fit or not?
Yeah.
And you guys joined in around that same time as we were discovering that ourselves.
Yes.
So it seems our values do align, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you in terms of what we do, sustainability wise, with the climate, with our offering on that front?
Yeah. So sustainability for us is massive, and I know we're sensory toys, and with that comes reusable plastics and stuff, but we do try to be wooden, we try to be recyclable, we try to reuse our packaging. So when we were discussing with yourselves, and you were like, yeah, just reuse the boxes, why would you not reuse the boxes? And that's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense to have loads of boxes, nice boxes, perfect boxes coming in, and then binning them to use new boxes.
Yeah.
So that's, I like that. We're also a paperless company and have been for maybe 12 years now at least. We don't print paper if we can help it. So, and everybody from ourselves work from home. So sustainability and being eco-friendly is huge for us. I think the first thing I spotted when I was looking at your websites was that yours are solar panels, and I was like, okay, this is my values here. I can just see it. And as a company, I don't want to be adding more to the environment than I have to.
Yeah.
So for us, the 3PL has to have that in the background. And some people, you'd think that this isn't possible, with the type of business that you're in. But if you think about it and think of different ways, how can we get the goods there without having to use so many vans, so many trailers, or airplanes, whatever it is?
Yeah, I mean, our ambition is to deliver every parcel we ship carbon neutral by 2030. So reducing our emissions as much as we can control, and then anything that is left going to be offsetting those entirely. So any client that comes to us, yourselves working with us, know then every parcel being delivered, no matter to what country in the world, is being delivered carbon neutral. I'm sharing that with yourselves and other clients, and you can really tell when somebody's values align on that front because their eyes light up. Because it matches their ambition as well, and their vision and dreams around that. Like, we're sitting here today in the middle of a huge European heat wave. And there's much on the news about that at the minute in terms of climate change. It's not a tomorrow problem. It's yesterday's problem. And sustainability is huge. We really, as an organisation, want to look after the planet we've been given. I think it's so pressing now for companies to really triple down on that.
100%.
Even if it's not the first instinct to reuse a box or to install solar panels, reduce, reuse, recycle, it needs to now become the new norm.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you're receiving so much packaging when you get the goods in from our suppliers that there's padding, there's like within the boxes, and they get put out. Then is that meant to be wasted? That has to be reused. And then they get to the customers, and I've seen customers drawing on the boxes and playing with the boxes as well. So it's great to see boxes being reused. It's and the packaging and everything. It's where it needs to be.
So someone's listening or watching now, and they're in that position you were 10 years ago with your team, your family, picking, packing, shipping, doing everything, wearing all of the hats. What would you say to that person?
That to get yourself some freedom and to choose 3PL. It just brings you that you can focus on growing your business rather than being in your business and doing everything, and up at night packing the boxes and getting them, shipping them out yourself. Even if it's small, like it's on the shelf, it's neat, all packaging's there. You don't have to think about anything. So I think that you can give yourself some freedom and some space by taking that side of things off yourself.
So thanks very much, Mary. I really appreciate your time.
Thank
It's been fascinating to learn more about your story here today.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new things I've learned, which is fantastic. It's really, really inspiring. I really appreciate you being so open about that journey from fulfilling yourself through to starting to work with 3PLs and what's that meant for your business,
Yeah.
and aligning with a 3PL that aligns with your values and your ambitions.
Yeah.
So wishing you every success moving forward, and looking forward to seeing what's next for Learning Space.
Brilliant. Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Thank you.